Oh my God, this is like high school now. Hi everyone, we've welcomed a new mentor on the Smart Green Card course today, Ramakrishnan. We've been friends for quite some time now, but this is when we really thought we can bring her EB1A expertise, all the things that she has done in her journey, also into the course to into the whole Smart Green Card program to improve the value of what we teach and help people be successful in. So want to extend a warm welcome to you to the course.
Hey, thanks so much, Simon, and it's my pleasure to be here.
Yep. Before we sort of dive into a lot of details here, right, like I kind of want to understand in general, all of us have our own motivations to go the EB1A route, right? Like for me, for example, in my case, I didn't get the H1B, right? It was a hell of a tough time for me, and I started looking at other options, and that's where I found out the O1A as an alternate to the EB1, the H1B, and then rabbit holed into that path, and then there was the EB1A that was like the obvious destination. However, in your case, it's slightly different, the motivations, right? Can you walk us through like your motivations of pursuing the EB1A?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to preface by saying it's really unfortunate that the immigration system is really unfavorable for people born in India and China. And I think it generally, like the way these processes have been set up are just very cumbersome and really hard for it's very luck based and not so merit based and things like that. So for me, like I think one of the things is I moved here in 2009. I've basically been here my whole undergraduate and graduate school career, and also built my professional career here in the US. And while I was thankfully I was lucky in the H1B process to have gotten the H1B visa and gone through the lottery and stuff. I was foolish in thinking the buck stopped there, and basically my immigration path would be secure from that point on. And boy, it was only when I think one of the companies I worked at started on the EB2 process that I realized, oh boy, this is God knows how many years of wait, and it was super unfavorable for anyone born in India and China. And so personally for me, there was one very specific event that kind of motivated me to really think about think hard about what is my way out here, and how do I ultimately get a green card and establish permanent residency. So it was actually right in the beginning of 2020. I had actually just had my daughter, and I returned back from maternity leave, and only to realize that my entire team was actually going to get scrapped in a matter of 3 months, and we were all essentially given a deadline to either find other roles within the company or look for other opportunities, because there was an impending layoff essentially. And so for me, that was a real wake-up call where I just truly realized how closely knit my job was with my security in the country. And while of course I was blessed to have a husband to latch on with a H4 and things like that, I truly wanted to chart my own path, and I just didn't want it to be the case that because of my job I'd have to leave the country and potentially bring my daughter with me and things like that. So that's when I really sat down to explore what options I had available. And I had a couple of friends who had considered the O1 path, and I was definitely aware of it, but never really occurred to me that I could essentially tackle that challenge, being someone who was working in a corporate job, not being an entrepreneur or not being a PhD and things like that. So I think for me, it was specifically that event, and also just realizing that the EB2 queue was just infinite, and there was no end to, there was no green card in sight in that process.
Yeah.